Welcome, fifth graders, to your first flipped lesson. What you should have out with you when you're doing this lesson is you should have your math notes book, you should have a pencil, and have it nice and quiet and be ready to watch and take notes. Your lesson objectives. For today, I want you to focus on the first two. They are also on your blue learning goals sheet. Reading and interpreting stem and leaf plots, and constructing stem and leaf plots. So pause the video now, write in your learning goals, and when you're ready, then you can hit play. All right, the first thing we're going to talk about is what is a stem and leaf plot. A stem and leaf plot is used as a quick way to organize large amounts of data. So when you have large data sets and you want to just basically organize it, a stem and leaf plot is a really nice tool to go. It is constructed from a T-chart, similar to what we see in our math notes, with the left side being the stem and the right side being what are called the leaves. Data is entered into a stem and leaf plot in a very specific way. The stem represents number or numbers that are in the tens or larger place value. The leaves represent numbers in the ones place. So for example, the number 67 would be written as 6, because that's the tens number, that number is on there, and 7. 7 is your ones number. So when you see 6-7, it'd be 67. If we were going to enter 82, do the same thing, 8, 2. If we were going to enter 104, be 104. So that's how you enter data into a stem and leaf plot. The stem are the numbers larger than the ones value place, and the leaves are the numbers in the ones place. So let's look at this plot. What numbers are represented here? So if you look through this, you see that we have 5 stems, and we have a series of numbers. Each one of these stems corresponds to one of the leaves and makes a number. So, for example, I have, of my data set, there would have been 4 numbers in the 60. It would have been 63, 65, 67, and 68. The 6 represents the 10 in each number, the 3, the 5, the 7, and the 8. Same thing here. I would have 71, 73, 75, 76, 76, 77, 78, 78, 79, 79. So by making the stem and leaf plot, I can take something that's a large set of data and make it into a very small set, with each of these indicating the ones place of every number that started with 70. The same with 80, 90, and 10. And once again, down here, you see your key. The 7-1 indicates 71. So let's take a look at this chart. If you were graphing this data, this is what it would look like at the stem and leaf plot. So those are all the numbers put onto the stem and leaf plot. And you can see that up here they don't have them in the chronological order yet, but you have your 60s represented here, 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 there, or I'm missing one. You can probably see it from where you are. And then your 70s, 80s, 90s, and 100s. So this is what the data looks like in the stem and leaf plot. Creating a stem and leaf plot. Step 1. So this is in your notes. You should make sure that you are indicating the different steps for the stem and leaf plot, just like we did the line plot. Step 1 is where you list the digits in the tens place. In this case, the numbers are 6 through 10. By finding the range, by looking at your data set right away, you should first be able to determine what stems you have. And you put them in order vertically from smallest to largest. So when you're going through your data set, you might want to mark. I have 10s, I have 6s, I have 7, I have 80s, 90s, 70s, 90s, I already said 90s, I already said 60s, 70s, and so forth, until you have every stem represented, and you put them vertically from largest to smallest, or from smallest to largest. The next step is from working from left to right in the data set, you're going to just put the leaves in place. So what you would do is you would start here. So after this, you would put your 0. After this, you're going to put your 5. After this, you're going to put your 8. And as you work through, that's one way to make sure that you've made sure all of your data is accounted for. So step 3 is putting your leaves in place. And, actually, that's step 2. Step 3 is putting the leaves in order from smallest to greatest. So once you've taken the data and put it into this order, you then want to take these numbers and you want to put them into chronological order, smallest to largest. And then finally, you need a key or legend and a title. So in this case, it's test scores. So these are different test scores. And the legend tells you what your stem and leaf plot means. And one thing to keep in mind when you're making your stem and leaf plot is, if you spread the digits out evenly, it improves the reading and the interpretation. So this needs to be neatly done. You don't want your numbers all on top of each other. You don't want them to be written at diagonals. You want them in nice, neat rows so that you can easily read the information. All right, so you're going to give it a go. So on the top, we have somebody's weekly babysitting earnings. And they have the different dollars amount they earned babysitting every week. What I want you to do is in your Cornell Notes, I want you to create a stem and leaf plot that accurately shows these dollar amounts. Go ahead and make it. Pause the video. When you come back, you can look at the answer key and see if you're right. Okay, hopefully you have your stem and leaf plot, and it should look like this. So you can see we have stems of 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and you have the leaves associated with them in chronological order. So this should match what your stem and leaf plot looks like. If so, good job. All right, now we're going to answer a couple questions of it. On your stem and leaf, I want you to answer these 4 questions, and make sure you bring the answers with you ready to class. And so you have to, looking at the stem and leaf plot, you have to figure out what was the highest fee earned, the lowest fee earned, how many times babysitting fees were earned, and the difference between the highest and lowest fee. If you need to, go back and rewatch the video. Make sure you have some really good notes. We'll be looking at those on Monday. Have a good weekend.